So I had a chat with a friend the other day, and we were just talking about how easy it can become or how easy it can be to actually get to the place of comfort, where we can get to a place in our life where we feel comfortable and we feel it's a place of convenience, but yet we don't feel fulfilled. And she shared this picture with me. Maybe some of you would be able to identify with it. You don't have to put up your hand if it's you, and you will see now why. So picture being on a couch in your TV room, and you are busy binge watching a Netflix series. Don't put up your hands, please. So you're sitting on the couch, you've got your blankie, you've got your snacks, your sour cream and chive Lays, or whatever you prefer, or maybe two different ones. And you've got a little kacheltjie going there, a fireplace, and you are just zoning in on your series. Well, I must say, I think it is okay if it happens once in a blue moon. But if it is something that becomes a pattern, and you sit on that couch, and it happens day after day, and you choose comfort above kingdom, and you choose comfort above anything else, I think we are heading for an accident here. And that is exactly the place where I found myself a couple of months ago. Not literally on the couch, but in this place where I looked at my life and I felt something is amiss. Something is I feel discontent. I feel unfulfilled. And sometimes when we experience certain emotions in our lives, we can link it to circumstances. We can link it to things that's happening around us. I feel sad because I had a fight with a friend. I feel stressed because of pressures at work. I feel happy because of an upcoming holiday. But I was sitting with these emotions and I couldn't link it to anything in my life. There was nothing going on in my life that was radical or that was distressful or anything like that. So I started to ask God. It's a good thing to ask if you don't know. I asked him, Lord, what is happening? Why am I feeling like this? And I felt he said to me, your faith has become stagnant. Your faith has become stagnant. So I don't know about you, but when I hear the word stagnant, there's only one picture that comes up. And that is of a river in this beautiful setting. And this river is supposed to flow. It's supposed to move. It's supposed to have purpose and go somewhere. But the water is standing still. There is no life. There are no plants. There are no fish in there. And it actually starts to smell. So now I'm sitting with this word, stagnant faith. And I'm like, God, so you're saying my faith is a bit smelly at the moment. I was more hoping for your faith is like a sweet-smelling aroma in my nostrils, but now it says smelly aroma in his nostrils. Okay, so we're going to stick to smelly because that's what he told me. And I had to start processing this thing of my faith is smelly and it's stagnant. And I felt that God spoke to me about familiarity. So I've been serving God for many years, like many of you here. And we can easily, I think, get to a place, or rather we get ourselves to that place, because it's not anyone else, it's not circumstances, it's ourselves. Where we get to this place where we become familiar with things. We become familiar with God. We become familiar with the things of God. We become familiar with how we think God works. And I think the moment when we get to that place, we start to walk by what we see, not by faith anymore. We start to walk by what we know, and we start to walk by experience. And experience in itself is not a bad thing. It can actually be very useful. But experience can never become the compass that directs our steps. So, familiarity. There's a story in the Bible, many of you know it, where Jesus was doing lots of miracles wherever he went. He was going from town to town, and there were healings and miracles and all sorts of cool things that happened. But in his own hometown, he couldn't do any miracles. And you know why? Because of a lack of faith in the people. People got familiar with him. They were like, yeah, it's Jesus. It's Joseph the carpenter's son. And he couldn't do miracles. So familiarity is dangerous. It leads to a lack of faith, and it leads to displeasing God. So now that I had this thing of stagnant faith and familiarity, I was trying to see how it started to play out in my life, because when there are issues in my connection with him, when I have been disconnected from God for a while, and you get that revelation and you see that, you can actually start to see how that it affects your life, your daily life. The one thing that I really felt was that I was not involving Jesus in my everyday life anymore. Yes, I was having my quiet time. I was doing all the other things. I was still part of church. I love church. There was nothing wrong with that. But hear me when I say I was not involving him in everything anymore. I would normally share my heart with him, and I didn't do it as much. I would normally ask questions. I would go to him with the little things like, Jesus, I've just misplaced my keys. Can you please help me find it? You know, he's okay with that. And he's quite good with showing us where it is. And I think it's those little things throughout our days that creates intimacy. It is not only I've had my quiet time, tick. I've been to this place, tick. I've done a good deed, tick. It's those connection throughout the day that creates the intimacy with him, and that builds relationship, and it builds faith. The other thing that I realized that was not looking the way it looked before was the whole thing of waiting, and it came up a couple of times now. I was not good at waiting anymore. Before, I also had a little bit of a problem with waiting, but now I realized I will just make my own plans. There's a decision that needs to be made, things need to happen, and I will just do what I think the right thing is. There was not the waiting on God. Lord, is it you? Lord, is it your will? Lord, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to do anything, or do you just want me to hang back a little bit? There was nothing of that anymore. And I think one of the other things that I realized started to manifest in my life was the fact that I have lost the heart of Jesus for the broken and the lost. That is always on his heart. That was on his heart from before time, that he would restore relationship with the Father. And I was actually at Checkers the one day, and there's this guy, I think he's transgender, and I've been going through the till where he is many times, and I would chat a little bit. And there was this one day where I sat in the car, and it just suddenly hit me. I have never prayed for this guy, but I'm not saying I would pray for him in Checkers. I'm just saying I would pray for him on my own. I would be in my car, and I would just pray, Jesus, reveal yourself to this guy. May he find you. May he see you. May he have a relationship with you. And the moment I think when I saw that, there was a sense of, sure, this is not good. This is not good that I've lost the heart of Jesus when it comes to this. And it is all manifesting in a way because of familiarity, because of a lack of faith. And that is something that is not pleasing to the Father. The Bible says the one thing that pleases him is faith. The one thing that pleases him is faith. David was only courageous because he trusted God to fight Goliath. When God said to him, you can go and fight him, I will be with you. Peter was only courageous to walk on water because he trusted Jesus when he said, come to me. And Mary, who was impregnated by the Spirit, was only courageous to face the judgment of society because she trusted the word her Lord has spoken. I am going to use you to do something amazing. And you and I can only be courageous if faith is our foundation. Our Christian journey starts with faith, it ends with faith, and faith is everywhere in between. And I am happy to report to you today that I feel my river started flowing again. It is moving in a direction I can almost hear the bubbles of life popping up in the river. And I don't think God is standing like this anymore when He looks at my faith. I think He feels a little bit more pleased than before. And when He is pleased, I do feel fulfilled.